2019, Magpie Dance began the project eMotion, when dance and technology collide. As part of this project, in January 2020, the adult community groups and students on the Dancer Development course were invited to take part in Protein 21 Reimagine, celebrating the 21st anniversary of Luca Silvestrini's Protein.
Protein 21 Reimagine is a way of celebrating our 21st anniversary.
Dynamics are reimagining the piece LOL, and it's based around social media.
We were given Dear Body and talking to a group of over 60s about what the body means to them. For me, that's a reimagining.
Dance, makes me happy.
I think it's been fabulous to be able to work with a professional company.
Reimagine makes me think of a new interpretation that I created.
When we were told we were working with Border Tales, I found that a great fit for the group that we have. We have a really diverse group.
This project, I really feel great about it because this is something that we have produced from our own experience.
So we have created a liaison between the past and the future through these projects.
Nice to see Annie and Ella again after a year now.
Oh, I know.
Unbelievable.
It's amazing everything that happened over the last year.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Isn't it?
I was so kind of, congratulations for creating such good pieces of work, regardless of the situation. So yeah, well done. We try to really encourage people to find an alternative way of completing the project via film or Zoom or whatever. And, you know, of course, it's not the same thing, but all the projects have become something quite important. Amazing.
And the context has like really influenced it. Like the LOL piece that we did, obviously, you know, is like taken on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And even when the other works that we did, you know, Dear Body and Border Tales, like they've both taken on a whole new level because of the pandemic. And I think we wouldn't have got quite such rich stories and rich things to kind of explore because people may be a bit more open. As we've gone through so much like collectively that
that's amazing.
Wanted to share and just be like, you know, let's explore this. And yeah, it's been great.
That's great. Well done.
As you can see, we've got Luca here from Protein.
Yes!
So good to see you.
I'm blushing.
Who is blushing? Who is blushing?
Is that you? Before we get chatting with Luca and you can tell about your experience and everything like that, this is kind of, is it Daisy's idea? I remember that possibly we might like to show Luca the finished version of From Me.
From Me. The dancers looked at Dear Body. We started writing our letters to ourselves. Dear Body, thank you. The dancers then put together their own dance. We were then very lucky to have Simon on board, who is one of our musicians, and to collaborate with him to make the music.
When I was born in 1987, 23rd of October, I was born with a hole in my heart. At the age of 3 years old, I had open heart surgery. My dad's rugby team friends had donated blood to save my life. When I was 22 years old, I fell in love. That lasted for 4 years. It does not matter what ability you have, I can show what I am now.
My dear body, thank you for my hands. I'm using them to explore and communicate. I use you to sign magazine and to teach. I always love dancing, using my body.
To body, thank you for being a smart student, but I am not good at socializing. My school friends, all my cousins, but you live with my parents at your home, my home. But the main reason is that I miss my uncle, my aunties, my cousins, and I feel that I will cry and being sad because of them. And I can't even stop thinking about them. All of the best. My body.
Today I feel light, balanced, liquid, waves and flow.
I could develop my own skill, even though I can feel really good dancer in lockdown. I can't wait to go through the gate and see the bluebirds in spring. Oh, what fun to sit in the sun with scones, jam and cream at Emmett's. Plan your day, dreaming away of all good treats to come.
That was amazing. Well done.
God, I was crying. That's one of my favourite poem. I use it a lot.
Congratulations. They're very thoughtful words.
Yeah, it is. Because I done 3 things on top of it. I did the poem, I did the dream dance, and I had done my friends on top of it.
First of all, I just want to say what an amazing piece of work. Well done. It made me quite emotional, actually. And so, because it was very honest, there was a lot of you. So through words and through movement, it was just so beautiful when you see performers being so generous with their stories. So, and that really touches people. So well done. Well done. I'd love to know about the process. How did you, how that worked from the idea to actually make this? How was the process?
I think we watched Dear Body, the original from Protein Dance first, then we got into our take on it after that, because I chose a body part and that made it quite obvious
to go into the story that you've just heard.
You could choose, really, couldn't you? You could. Some people chose to do a whole story. Owen did a poem, and some people chose to pick words as well. What did we do after that?
And then once we kind of chosen, we then had to like narrow it down to like 3 or 2, and then we then had to make a dance of the word that we've chosen, and make a dance out of it.
Nice. It was like a word, but where we have to dance it.
Yeah. So we used those words or the feeling to create movement out of that. So everyone had their own solos, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah. Let's talk a bit more about the process. So we've got our show. Who wants to tell Luca, our solo, sorry. Who wants to tell Luca about how we made that into a piece?
Because we were taking turns on this, and you gave us options of roles, what we'd be wanting to be.
I think everyone wanted to be a dancer. Everyone wanted to be a choreographer. I think those were the main ones. Editor, yes.
And I chose creative directing as well as
that was it, Daisy. That was it. Annie, you told me about, you were quite heavy in telling me how you wanted your thing to be edited. You mentioned about the canon, you mentioned about the words. So that was all really useful in terms of when I came down to editing, I knew kind of exactly what you wanted, which was really good.
Which process did you enjoy the most between the two? Daisy, which one did you enjoy the most?
Well, I would say my story one is probably the personal to me.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah.
Yeah, when I mean enjoy, I mean like which one you find
well, I found
more interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, my my identity one, it triggered for the body one, because when I did the book, the Postcards Impossible one, it clicked. I have to go back in the process from when I was born for Dear Body, so I can actually combine the two now.
Amazing. That makes a lot of sense, isn't it? Because the body is our companion, stays with us from the very beginning to the very end.
Yeah, true.
So, but also there is more to a person than a body. You know, true. The body is the shell. Then there is something more. You know, there's something else. The spirit.
My favourite dance is actually Dead Body. So I was younger. I teach Magpie. That's really personal to me.
And that's what is beautiful about all the work you made. It's very personal. It's incredible that we get to know you by the end of the piece.
Where did you get the idea for the Dead Body?
Very good question, Lauren. All the pieces, they come from a personal inquiry or personal, from a moment in life. And that was the moment when I sort of started to be aware that I was aging, that I was getting older, and that my body was not the same. And so I started to reflect. I wanted to reflect upon this idea of body, how happy we are with our bodies, what do we do in order to become happier, or this ongoing sense of frustration because you never quite like who you want to be. And so then I started researching on all the sort of how far people go to put so much demands and pressure on our bodies, because there are certain standards, because you have to be in a certain way. So then, and it made me think how silly we are when we're constantly trying to be who we are not. And so that was quite an interesting journey but it came from that idea of, oh my goodness, my body is I'm getting a little bit more around. I'm not as agile, you know, which is part of life.
The main question for you, how are you feeling fit during lockdown?
Oh dear. I went for long I went for long walks and sometimes running. I do some yoga, but I also been putting on some weight. So
Yeah, my dad doesn't.
I didn't do much. I have to say, I could have done better.
I agree. No.
Oh my God, this was so much fun to meet you guys.
And Luca, thank you so much for coming to see us. And it's
Oh,
been,
it was a pleasure.
It's been
best lunchtime ever. But you're all such amazing dancers. Well done, and really, really beautiful dancing. And I'm really glad you took part in this project. We are very honored that you were dancing in these reimaginations of old pieces. You brought these pieces back to life and made yours, which is so great.
Shall we all sign thank you to Luca? So we can all say thank you. Thank you, Luca.
Thank you. Thank you. Is that like this?
Yeah, thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you. See you on Sunday.
Bye-bye.
When I was born in 1987, 23rd of October, I was born with a hole in my heart. At the age of 3 years old, I had open heart surgery. My dad's rugby team friends had donated blood to save my life. When I was 22 years old, I fell in love. That lasted for 4 years. It does not matter what ability you have, I can show what I am now.
My dear body, thank you for my hands. I'm using them to explore and communicate. I use you to sign magazine and to teach. I always love dancing, using my body.
To body, thank you for being a smart student, but I am not good at socializing. My school friends, all my cousins, but you live with my parents at your home, my home. But the main reason is that I miss my uncle, my aunties, my cousins, and I feel that I will cry and being sad because of them, and I can't even stop thinking about them. All of the best, my body.